page, I'm on this page right here. It says service dogs, emotional support, and so forth. Turning over to the next page, what's the difference? Okay, so this is just kind of a brief description of what's the difference. Service animal is a dog. It's individually trained to do a specific task for a person with a disability. There is one other category of animal that has been kind of included as a service animal. Does anybody know what that is?
Horse.
A horse. What kind of horse?
Miniature.
A miniature horse. Yes, so there's specific exceptions for miniature horses as well. So basically, I'm going to read you this section from it. It's in the revised ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, which has a separate new provision for miniature horses. Because there's been a lot of work, especially with autism and so forth, that shows that miniature horses, because they're small enough, they may be transportable enough to be able to go to classrooms with them, especially if they're a parent with a child who needs to have that miniature horse. And they've especially found that they can be helpful for children with autism and with other kind of issues as well. There are requirements. I'm just going to say this is that we've been asked about miniature horses. Once people find out that a miniature horse can be a service animal, it becomes a little bit more popular. There are certain rules about the miniature horses. There's certain height requirements. There's a weight requirement. They can't be more than 70 pounds or 100 pounds, I think. And there's other things as well in terms of regulations. The miniature horse, apartment owners are able to do an assessment of the miniature horse, which is a little bit different than service dogs. And I'll talk a little bit about more. So you cannot do an assessment of a service dog at all. But with a miniature horse, you can do a little bit more of an assessment and so forth in order to determine whether or not you want to permit. And so that's in terms of whether or not it's housebroken and its size. Is it under the owner's control? Can the family accommodate it? And will it create a safety hazard? So anyway, so there is a little bit of an exception for miniature horses. But let's talk about getting more into just kind of generally, and then I'll get a little bit more specific about service animals. So the other type of assistance animal is the emotional support animal. You may also heard it referred to as a comfort animal, or can anybody think of another term they've heard to describe a support animal? A companion animal, okay, is the other term. So the main terms are here are support, companion, or some people will say comfort. So an emotional support animal is any animal, literally. That's not trained with a specific task, but it provides an emotional support to that person with a disability, simply by just existing or being near that person. And then the third category of an animal that you may be required to allow tenants and residents to live. Is that? But anyway, yes, an emotional support animal, and I'll get more details. I'll get a little bit more details about what an emotional support animal. And kind of the third category is an assistance animal. In terms of fair housing, it's not technically a third category. The ADA talks about it, but in terms of fair housing law, there isn't really a distinction between an assistance animal and an emotional support animal, or even a service dog. But basically, it's one that could include a service dog, an emotional support animal, or any other type of animal, but it is one that does perform a specific task. So it's not necessarily a dog, but it may be another animal